Welcome to another episode of Rob Wells Music Talk. As you can see, I'm here with Bodie once again. We're here at the dog park, just from a different angle. And this angle is just a little bit further away from all the action down at the other end of the dog park. But Bodie's having a good time. As you can see, the weather's turned a lot nicer here now. It's really nice. It's 2 degrees Celsius. All the snow's melted. And it feels like a spring day, even though it's February, I forget what day it is today, February 5th, maybe February 4th. Anyways, I thought today for this episode that we would talk about how I got to work with Selena Gomez many moons ago and talk to you about that whole process, how it all happened, and just take you through from point A to point B, from writing the song all the way to hearing it performed live in Toronto. And it was a really, really great experience. This was very early on in my career. So back in 2005, I went to Los Angeles for a songwriting trip where I organized a few co-writes with people that I had met previously that lived in LA. And my brother, also living in LA for some years, said, you know, if you're coming down here, I would really love to get you writing with somebody by the name of Shelly Peiken. And Shelly's a really cool person. She's a great writer. She's really kind. She's really cool. She's really humble. I think you guys will get along like a house on fire. So I said, sounds great. Can you introduce us over email? Which he did. And we organized a date to get together and write. And down to LA I went and had some great writing sessions. And along came the day where it was time to write with Shelly. And Shelly, for those of you who don't know, she has written so many massive songs in the world for a lot of huge, huge artists, including the song Bitch by Meredith Brooks, which is an amazing song. She also wrote What a Girl Wants by Christina Aguilera. She's worked with Keith Urban. The list goes on and on and on. You can go on and research Shelly, and you'll just see all the amazing things that she has and continues to do. The day came to write with Shelly, and she lives high up in the Hollywood Hills. I took my rental car there and parked in the driveway, got the address right, and knocked on the door, and there's Shelly welcoming me into her beautiful home that has gorgeous views of all of Los Angeles. Just an amazing, amazing place. Her husband is a film composer as well. Just a really, really talented family. I just really, really took to them very easily and just found them to be truly very kind and very personable. And so Shelly and I just went in and we just started talking first and, getting to know each other and showing me around the house. And we had a cup of coffee, I believe, or maybe a cup of tea or something. And then we sat down to do some writing. And I saw this grand piano that she had in her living room, this gorgeous grand piano. And I just thought, that's the entire reason why I'm here. I just had to play that piano, just overlooking her beautiful living room and looking out the window and seeing the views of LA. It was so cool, when you play that sort of situation, put your fingers on the keys and just observe what's going on around you and just really immerse yourself in that. I just thought it was all so beautiful. It was just really nice. I felt very comfortable. And I just started playing this riff on the piano. And it wasn't a very fast riff. It was slow moving. Just because that's kind of what I was feeling. I just felt very relaxed and very at peace, very much at home. And Shelly said, "What's that?" And I said, it's just, first thing that came to my mind as I'm sitting down here at the piano. And she said, "Can you keep playing this little riff?" And it sort of went da 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 da. And it was the 1 chord followed by the 4 chord, back to the 1 chord, back to the 4 chord. And it was really, really simple, just something that just, I was inspired by, my surroundings by. And Shelly said, "Stop everything. I know exactly what we're going to write about today." She had just gone to her high school reunion. And I guess at that reunion, she met up with a lot of her old friends, including somebody that she, I guess, loved in some form in high school and felt very fondly about. And it was, just that strange feeling of seeing them again after so many years at a high school reunion, and all these memories come flooding back. Not that you want to run back to them or anything, but it's just like, isn't it great to sit back and reminisce on what was? And she just thought, from what you're playing, it's reminding me of that same feeling of everything that was going on that weekend. And she just started writing this amazing top line over this riff that I was doing. And it sort of started out from that place where it's like, looking back, yes, it was very special. And going forward, I've got a lot of great things that are happening, but I guess nothing will ever be as special as the way, I'll never be able to love anybody the way that I loved you, because it was my most emotional thing up to that moment in my life. It was the most special thing that ever happened, the first time you ever fall in love. And so we wrote this song. I wrote the music, part of the melody, and Shelly wrote the lyrics and part of the melody. And it all became sort of like, it ended up being kind of like a breakup song that was very bittersweet. We wrote it not from the position of it being, way down the line, 30 years after you've been in high school. We wrote it from the position of you're still in high school, and now this is the breakup. Maybe it's a happy breakup, maybe it's a sad breakup, we don't know. But it's the sort of thing where it's like, yes, this was amazing, this was great, and I'll always think of you, but I'll never be able to love again the way that I've loved you. And I just thought, man, this is killing me, because I'd been there. I've been in that situation. I think everybody around the world has been in that situation. And we just wrote this song and wrote it in the course of a day. Shelly is a mastermind. She's an absolute genius. How she can just come up with this stuff so fast and so great and so quirky. Like, some of the lines are just so great in that song. Anyways, we wrote this, and then the next day I worked on the demo. Just a simple MIDI demo at home, at my brother's place. I was still in Los Angeles, and just found an amazing singer named Becky Ryan, and she sang this demo like crazy. She made it sound amazing. And within a couple of days, we had this great sounding demo that I then sent to Shelly over email, sent an MP3, and she loved it. And she said, I'm going to start sending this out to people. I'm going to send this all over. And one of those people that she sent it to was a person named Jon Lind. And Jon Lind ended up being a really good friend of mine. And he recently passed away. I miss him. He was an amazing person. He was a songwriter before. He wrote all sorts of huge songs. You can look him up as well. But Jon Lind eventually ended up working in A&R at Hollywood Records. And he was a really good friend of Shelly's as well. And so this was my introduction to Jon. She sent the song into Jon and said, check this out. I think it might be great for some of your artists. And Jon listened to it and he loved it and thought it was great. And he said, there's this girl that we're thinking about working with. She's on a show right now, a TV show called The Wizards of Waverly Place. And her name is Selena Gomez. And we're thinking about signing her, maybe. We don't know how she is in the studio. We don't know how she is at singing. We don't know really what she sounds over a great pop record. And if you're cool with it, I would love to test your song with Selena and see how it goes, see how it works. And so he reached out to me and reached out to Shelly, and we both said, sure, that sounds amazing. That sounds great. At this point, when I heard this news, I was back in Toronto, and we arranged for a time when we could go back to LA and Selena would be there and Shelly would be there. And we ended up going back to LA and recording at Shelly's place in Adam's studio, in her husband's studio, where he usually composes all of his film scores. And when Selena came in, she was 15 years old, I think, about that. And she came in with her mother. They were both so nice, so kind, super professional, really, really professional. And they just came in they'd been in the acting world, they'd been in the entertainment industry for many years. So they really knew how to prepare for things, how to prepare for auditions, how to, know your lines, know your cues, all of that. So Selena knew the song from top to bottom. She knew everything. She had it memorized. She knew all the melody licks and all the little tricks that were going on in the song. She knew all the lyrics, every verse, every pre-chorus, every chorus. She didn't have a lyric sheet in front of her. She just knew everything about it. I was so impressed for a 15-year-old to have such a great work ethic and just be so pro. But I guess that's just from years of being in the TV business and doing all that. And I believe she was in Barney before that as well. So just somebody that's really been involved in entertainment for a long time. So we got started, and I had the demo playing. We got rid of Becky's vocal, and we just started recording Selena from top to bottom. We did a couple of times just to get levels and just see how she sounds and maybe make some, little tweaks and things like that. But I got to say, she sounded amazing right from the very beginning. Really, really amazing. Just incredible. And then we started going into certain sections and started working on the verses. Verse 1 first, perfecting that. Verse 2, perfecting that. Going into the chorus, going into the bridge, going into the final chorus. And I think that we recorded that session in probably 2 hours, maybe even less, maybe an hour and a half. It was really, really easy. She sounded amazing. I then took all those files. I flew back home to Toronto. I worked on the vocal for Selena, comped all of that. Selena, Shelly, and I, we all took a picture before we left, though, made sure that we got that. Man, I look brutal in that picture. I look like a deer in headlights. Just because I think it was like such a last minute thing. They're like, wait, we need a picture. And then I just quickly ran into frame and I'm like that. Anyways. And so I went back to Toronto and worked on the vocal and got it perfected. Sent that back into Jon, and Jon Lind sent it to all of his team at Hollywood Records. And they loved it. They absolutely loved it. And I'm pretty sure from that song, that's when they greenlit working with Selena and working on her first record for Hollywood Records. So we were sort of the first time for Selena being in a music studio like that and recording a song. And a really, really great experience, really, really cool. They worked on a full record. This song, The Way I Loved You, came out on that record. It's a ballad. And later that summer, or it could have been the year after, Selena did a tour. And it was a pretty big, substantial tour because she was getting quite popular. And I went to go see it. I brought my son, Jamie, with me. Jamie was pretty young, and we went backstage and met Selena. And Jamie was so shy. He just didn't even want to look at her. He was so young, he just didn't know how to handle somebody that's famous, being there. Too funny. Now he's a pro. He's met everybody, and he's really good at it. But he's also much older. He's 17 years old. And anyways, Jamie and I then went in to see the show, and we loved it. I mean, it was filled with a ton of screaming girls in there, so there was that. We had to wear earplugs pretty much because when you get 10,000 screaming girls all screaming at the same time, it's almost enough to make your ears bleed. But anyways, when it came time to do her song, or our song, The Way I Loved You, Selena actually said, the song that I'm about to play is written by a person who's in the audience right now. His name is Rob Wells, and Rob, would you stand up right now? And I stood up, and everybody gave me a round of applause. It was pretty cool. And then she played it, and everybody loved the song. And so to be able to see everything from, go from having the inspiration, flying down to LA, getting inspiration to write a song with a lyric, and then recording it, with Selena, writing it with Shelly, just the whole experience, putting it all together in Toronto, getting good friends of mine to work on it. Chris Anderson did the mix and master. Fred Saint-Gelais did all the guitars on it. Just a great experience overall. And what a pleasure working with Selena. And she's a great talent. She's a really, really kind, sweet person. Shelly's a really sweet, kind person. Jon was an incredibly sweet, kind person, and so funny and so humble and lovely. And I miss him dearly. It was just such a lovely experience, the whole thing. And I can forever say that I got to work with Selena Gomez. And it may be my one and only time, who knows? But at least it happened once, and it's cool. It's part of my story. So I hope that is enjoyable for you to hear. Maybe there's something you can learn from hearing that whole process. You never know where songs are going to land. You never know where songs are going to go or what life they're going to have. I've had younger people come up to me and say that song means so much to me. It's helped me through all sorts of situations. Going through a breakup, it's made me feel better about the breakup. So that's a great thing too. The whole thing's a win-win-win situation. So anyways, that's it for me today. I'm going to go pay some attention to Bodhi now in the dog park. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.